Hello, this is Dr. Johnson. I am one of the AP Stats teachers at Capel High School, and in this lesson I want to show you how you can use your Casio calculator to calculate summary statistics and to generate a box plot. So, if you have a TI calculator, I have instructions on how to do all of this using the TI in the folder on resources in my Schoology page, so check that out. But here's the instructions for a Casio. Turn it on, looks like this. I want you to go to menu number 2, the stats menu. Menu number 2, the stats menu. And we're going to put all our data in list 1 right here. So we're going to make this very simple. Data is going to be very simple. I want you to put a 1 for the first observation, a 2 for the second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8. This data set has 8 numbers in it, and they're the number integers 1 through 8. Make it real simple. Then when I want to calculate the summary statistics, I see the submenu here that says calculate, so I hit F2. All my data is in one column, so I have one variable. So I hit F1, and here's my data. Here's my statistics. The mean for this data is 4.5. If this data is a population set of data, then the population standard deviation is 2.29. If this data is a sample, then the sample standard deviation is 2.44. I have n equal 8 observations, so there's 8 observations. Now there's more data right here. I can see this little pink arrow, so I want to hit the down arrow a couple times. Okay, we'll keep going. There we go. So I have a minimum of 1. My first quartile, Q1, is at 2.5. The median is at 4.5. Q3 is at 6.5, and the max is at 8. So I write that down on my piece of paper, on my answer sheet. Then I hit exit, and I want to draw a graph. I want to draw a box plot with that data. So I hit exit again until I get to this list of menus here where it says graph. I hit F1 for graphing. Now, I have to tell the calculator what kind of graph I want. So I go over to set, F6. The graph right now is set to give me a scatter plot, and I don't want a scatter plot. So I scroll down to scatter plot, and I have to come up with a different type of graph. Well, it's none of these, so I hit F6. There, med box. Okay, this F2 is the box plot. I don't know why they call it med box, but it's box plot or box and whisker plot right here. F2. So I hit F2, and it gives me some options. Well, I want all the data that's in list 1. That's where my data is, so that's good. Okay, outliers. I want it to calculate outliers, so I'm going to hit on, F1. Okay, now I hit execute, and there we have it. Pardon me. So now I want to make that box plot, so I hit F1 for graph, and there's my box plot. Minimum is at 1. First quartile is at 2.5. The median is at 4.5. The third quartile is at 6.5, and my max is at 8, right there. And you can copy that down onto your answer sheet. That's the box plot. Now, what does it look like if there is an outlier? Well, I'm going to hit exit right here, and I'm going to scroll down here, and instead of that 8, I'm going to make it 14. We'll see if that gives us we'll see if 14 is an outlier. And this also shows whether, the box, yeah. Okay, so now I hit graph 1 again, and voila, here I have an outlier. So this is my box plot right here. Again, my first quartile is still at 2.5. My median is still at 2.5. And my third quartile is at 6.5. But I have an outlier right here at 14. And the upper whisker only goes from the third quartile to the highest value that is not an outlier right there. So this is a box plot with an outlier. There you go. That's the end of today's presentation.